Well, Lucas, I'm glad you could join for this conversation. I'm excited to glean from your learning. I always feel like as I get to do these interviews, it feels like free consulting that I get to experience. But also it's great. It's blessing to our community. So we're going to be talking about B2B sales for SaaS startups and SaaS companies. And so yeah, Lucas, will you introduce yourself? Kind of tell us a little bit about your experience in this space.
Yeah, thank you, David. So yeah, my name is Lucas Muniz, and I currently have my own business. It's called Sales Network LLC, and the business is a consulting for SaaS companies who want to scale their sales. And doesn't matter, no matter what growth stage this startup is at. We basically find out exactly where you are, what the best next steps are going to be, and even if it relates to, let's say, if you need some help that's not specifically for sales, we partner up with whoever is needed the most. Let's say a marketing agency, if that's the case, or just guide you to the next step if we can help. But usually, there's always something sales related that needs to get done, before the company reaches that next stage. So yeah, I've been working in sales for the last 20 plus years. I used to work even, when I was a teenager with my dad, and worked in different industries and myriad different industries. Worked in tech long time ago. The times of, not sure if anyone is here familiar with Borland, Cool Gear. That's when I was introduced to tech sales, and then I worked in different industries and came back. So I chose software as a service, B2B, just because I noticed that a huge amount of, let's say, majority of cases, the processes can be replicated. And even with all the personalization, even all with the nuances of each case, at least, let's say, the rules that I talk with, they usually apply pretty well across, across all the different SaaS products. So yeah, I'm here matching challenges with tech solutions.
No, I love that, Lucas. And I appreciate that. Yeah, like you calling out even that, yeah, while each of our businesses we have like nuances and unique things about them, but those same principles, just like in our framework, the same principles of growth apply at different stages. Same thing you're saying. It's like, hey, you may be offering a different product or a different promise, but the process, the principles of sales, and especially these B2B SaaS sales, they apply broadly. And so you're helping people see through all of the chaos and clutter and go, hey, these are the things that you need to double down on. This is how we're going to help you get there. And that clarity is so valuable. So I'm excited. Let's just kind of dive in to talk through some of these stages here. All right, so
Yes.
let's though assume we've made it through the scaling stage and we're here at market saturation. So it's like, hey, we made it. We've saturated the market. We're dominating a market in some aspect, whether that means we're number one in a small slice or we're trying to do it more of a breadth approach, but we've reached whatever, as a company we've labeled as market domination. We've hit that threshold. So now here in the saturation stage, we're really trying to solidify that dominance, because now there's no secret. Like we're the ones who have the target on our back. We're the ones everyone's trying to beat. When people are like, okay, how do we make a new product and enter in? It's like, all right, how do we make it better than these guys? How do we differentiate? So the competition kind of changes. But you're also trying to drive innovation. And like you mentioned, even earlier where you were saying like, hey, we're the ones who are always thinking about the next thing. So this becomes really important here, where you don't just become the like stagnant giant that everyone kind of moves past, but you go, no, hey, they're continuing to innovate. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there. But particularly in the sales process, how does this, once you've reached that market domination level, to maintain it and solidify it, what does that look like from a B2B SaaS sales standpoint? Like what's going on in that stage?
Um, I would say this stage, you got to take advantage of there's a huge advantage of companies on this stage, and you got to use it in your favor because your brand is really well recognized. Okay, you are a target, but when people say your name, by your name I mean your company's name, your brand, there's a lot of respect into it already, and that opens so many possibilities. Because from the sales standpoint, not only, if some other competitor comes up, you are the one who can say like, yeah, but we are blah blah blah, we are innovating, you should pay attention to what we say. They are still trying, like, finding the uphill battle. So I tend to see more like the half full cup instead of the half empty. So you, if you have a strong brand, how can you take advantage of that, of this brand the most? And not only from, I'm going to start from a non-sales perspective, just to create the right scenario here, on our audience's mind right now, because a lot of companies at this stage, they buy other companies as well. So hey, people already trust you. People already know that you're going to develop good products, and you better do it, because that's the stage where you got to keep on top of it all the time. But also, they, you usually have enough cash to buy out some companies that are coming up with great products, and guess what, that product is not going to have another brand, it's going to be your brand, and you can attract the best talent. So this affects sales a lot, and I'm going to say why. So I came from, talking about this context, not from the sales perspective, and now I'm going to put the sales perspective on it. It's because this is the stage that even HR wise, you can get the best talent, which means that you can, I would say, not sure if those are the best words, like you can buy customer portfolio from, if you attract the right account managers, account executives, because they already want you to work with you. It's like when it's a startup on the early stages, no one knows who you are. They are kind of I'm talking about possible employees, right? They are not absolutely sure if that's the company that they want to work for the most. Let's say this way.
Right.
When you reach the saturation market, you're already well respected. Your brand is well established. A lot of people want to work for you. You can pay the best salaries. And guess what? A lot of people, they want to work with you, including sales professionals. And guess what those sales professionals bring with them? Not only a lot of expertise, but they bring their network with them. The sales network is something very, very valuable. It's basically, if you're attracting the right the really experienced talent, they've been in the industry for a while, they already talk with the right personas, the ideal customer profiles. They've been talking with those guys for a long time, which means they are trustworthy for them, right? So when they change to another company that they're talking with the same, let's say, personas, the same ideal customer profiles and personas, the conversion rate is extremely high, because it came from the perspective like, I used to work for this company and I'm working for this company because I think this company is better. I think I can believe the product. So if you believe me as a consultative, a consulting sales professional, you coming from the consultative sales perspective, a lot of people are going to pay attention to what they have to say. So this is one part of the huge advantage you have, because a lot of people want to work with you. And I would say that you really got to pay attention on the sustainability side of things. Again, as you said, that sustainability, the focus of the sustainability, it keeps for the other stages as well. So, sorry, my headphones. So the customer success part of things now, it gets to a stage where not only you are trying to be on top of everything, but also asking them, how else can I help you? Okay, like, we came here from the perspective of solving for this problem with those capabilities. We evolved our product. We still evolving. So part of it is listening to them all the time, actively, and making sure that account management and customer success is absolutely great. But also, hey, what other problems would you like solved? That's the opportunity of that's the best opportunity in the whole, let's say, startup stage. The saturation is the one that people trust you so much that even if you release a product that has nothing to do with where you first launched, you're probably going to have a big adoption and fast. That's we can mention some companies there that they went through this, Microsoft, Apple, like they started with something and then they have a huge portfolio of products because it's basically like this. They have the following so big and people like them so much that if they release a product absolutely different than the first one, even though like what they're working with this product right now, oh, but it's Apple. Oh,
Yeah.
but it's mine. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So product
No,
innovation and competitive analysis. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, just to close, this stage. So that's also the stage where you focus on market intelligence as well. You have not only the best technology, you have a lot of professionals. So your corporate, ladder, it's
Mm.
getting thicker, let's say this way. You have more professionals being specialized in basically more specific functions. And that's how you get more intelligence because now it's not a lot of people wearing multiple hats how it was at the beginning. Like you
Right.
have some people dedicated entirely to market intelligence, and sometimes a specific part of the market intelligence. So you have all the bullets you need for developing your products, for analyzing how can you be ahead, how can you innovate,
Mm.
always paying attention to the competitors. If you can buy, your competitor, if comes up with something way better than you buy them. If not, you got to make your version as fast as possible and great as possible and get to that adoption stage as fast as possible. And now you have the huge advantage of the brand being well respected and
Mm.
trusted. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's good. I love what you're sharing, Lucas. And I think we talk about it a lot in Founder's Best Friend of working from a position of strength, which is totally what you're describing of, strength in like, okay, hey, we have longevity. We've been here for a long time. We're not going anywhere. This newbie, hey, we don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens to them in a year, But you can, and a position of strength, not just from longevity, but like, hey, we have a solid brand. We're known. We have talent, or we can attract new talent. We can level up our talent. So I think what you're describing of like moving from this position of strength and being able to go after the market in new and deeper ways is really it's yeah you're talking about the right things there. Something I do want to call out that you described that is really helpful, I think, for anyone who, whether they recognize that, hey, I'm in the saturation stage, or even this can occur earlier on, like in the sustainability stage, is you might have a sustainable business or a saturation level business and have a new offer that kind of goes back, even though your business is in these later stages. Hey, we have this new offer or this new product that kind of comes along and it starts in the existential and discovery and adoption, and it moves along too as part of our set of offerings. And so, yeah, that's a good thing to call out is like, just because your primary business is in these more mature stages, you may have departments or offerings within your business that move along that same journey that we've talked about in these other stages as those mature to match your overall company's maturity level. And so that's where all the things you talked about in those earlier stages still kind of applies, but in, within a particular context of your business. The other thing you mentioned in there, yeah, is sometimes you end up acquiring people, which kind of leads into our last stage of events. Well, I just want to say thank you for spending this time and really blessing our community with your expertise. And I'm glad you're with us on the platform so people can come and find you if they want more, and really get to leverage your expertise. So I appreciate it.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to doing more of these type of things together in the future.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Also, we passed the time quite a bit.
Yep.
Appreciate the conversation, and thank you as well for being a great host and for making my messages a little concise, a little more concise. Thank you very much.
No, I love it. That's awesome.